in here and get it. Now, of course, they got to be very cognizant of where the pace car is with the field here. They didn't need to put any gas in. They've got it loaded, packed all the way full, looking on the inside there to see if there's any tow out on this truck. That's one of the things the drivers check, and they'll be able to tell. They may have to bring a string out and put on that to see. Bliss is turning it right to left to see. So far, he says the wheel feels pretty good. Now, they got to keep their eye on the pace truck here, and Bliss will go back to the racetrack.
The 60 truck was also on pit road. You see the sticker tire. He put new tires on that. They may have to come back in to do some repair work to all the sheet metal damage you got from that tire blowing out.
Again, not much damage from the actual spin, but when the tire blew, a lot of damage to that number 60 truck. We'll settle this all when we come back. Welcome back to the Quaker Steak and Lube 200, presented on speed by Dodge. Mike Skinner still holding on to the top spot as we've completed 28 laps.
Kyle Busch, the 51 truck, took over the second position, and when he took over second, he was over 4 seconds behind our leader, Mike Skinner. In about 5 laps, now he's a little less than 2.5 seconds behind. He's got consistently the fastest truck on the racetrack. Let's see if we can take a look at the serial here and see why Kyle Busch is gone. Watch this. He's going to take over second place from Ron Hornaday right here. You see Ron Hornaday is going to move over. Kyle Busch is going to drive by on the outside. This is what we were talking about what Mark Martin expects these drivers to do. If somebody catches you from a long way back, there's no sense racing them and costing both of you time.
Now, is that a spotter that's telling him, hey, this guy caught up to you, let him by? Or is that a driver making that
looking
call?
looking in the mirror and seeing it.
And plus the driver, he doesn't need the spotter to tell him what to do. That's his truck. He's in charge. Somebody drives up underneath of you. You know what you need to do. David felt like he was developing the high line. He hadn't been up there yet. He thought maybe he'd find some grip up there that would allow him to get going better than Mark. Didn't happen, but he messed around with Mark too long and cost him a tremendous amount of time. Since that time, David's been able to drive back away from the 75 truck of Amarola, and now is on the back bumper of Aaron Crocker racing for that 8th spot, but it cost them both a lot of time right there.
Kyle Busch making up the time that Mike Skinner has put between himself and second.
He gains about 2 or 3 tenths every lap, Phil. That's a fast truck. He's by far the fastest truck on the track.
Now we're coming up on lap 32, or actually we're on it now. We'll complete it here when Mike Skinner goes across the start-finish line. This is about what these drivers have been talking about as far as scuffed tires. So now they're probably feeling a little more comfortable with the tires underneath them.
Well, the 2 things happen though, Rick. The scuffs are better once they cool off and the air pressure's down. Now these guys are fighting with tires that are getting more air in them. They're getting hotter, so they're not running as fast as they were when they started the race. It felt like the sweet spot on the tires was about 25 laps. That's when some guys ran their fastest laps.
There's Kyle Busch right there. You see the distance behind. Lap number 8, he was over 9 seconds behind. Then it looks like lap 16 is maybe when he took over the second position. He was over 4 seconds behind, or lap 24, and now he's picked up over 2.3 seconds since he took over the second position.
Well, and I'll let you know that he's inside of 1 second behind Mike Skinner now as we've completed 33 laps.
And he outran him over a half a second that lap alone. And look, right there's the leader. He's there. We're not talking seconds anymore. We're talking truck lengths.
And it's about 3 truck lengths.
He has closed the gap. Steve Park in between right now Kyle Busch and Mike Skinner. Park moves over, lets Kyle Busch by. He knows that there's going to be a race for the top spot here very shortly. He's got a pretty good seat to watch it.
I wonder when Richie Waters is thinking about putting fuel in this thing, Michael.
Let's talk about something else. Every time I
predictions?
Every time I turn on speed, all I hear to myself is saying, there's no way this is going to work. He got a pit, and it worked.
Well, here's the battle for the lead. Kyle Busch has caught Mike Skinner. Now, Mike Skinner has lap traffic in front of him to deal with. Kyle Busch is going to go to the outside for the lead.
Wow, that was a bold move. It didn't work either, did it, Phil? It didn't stick for him.
Not yet. Let's see if he pins the... Nope, Mike Skinner's going to drive up in front of him. Now you see him drive by. Well, they've got trucks on the inside, trucks on the outside. That's Sean Murphy, the 08 truck on the outside. That's Bobby Jr. right there. We saw him make an unscheduled pit stop. He's already being shown 1 lap down. That's almost 2 laps down.
How about Kyle Busch? He is not very patient right now. He is going to try to get by Mike Skinner, and he does. Mike Skinner almost looks as though he allows him by.
Well, heck, he caught him from 4 seconds back in about 10 laps. Mike saw the writing on that wall.
Kyle Busch look to defend his race win. 2005 race winner, looking to win again in 06.
We heard Mike Skinner tell us early on that he was going to be a lot smarter in this race, and he realized that Kyle Busch caught him from a long way back. Now, he raced him, but he didn't race him so hard that he put himself in an awkward position. Mike Skinner's using the head this race.
Well, he got a valuable lesson last year. He had a very, very fast truck and couldn't close the deal because he admitted himself he made a mistake. He wants to be extra careful tonight not to shoot himself in the foot.
Mike Skinner led the first 36 laps, and now it's Kyle Busch's turn to lead this field. Kyle Busch has 2 laps led so far. The 2 of them have shared the top spot. Speed Fantasy Cup Racing has the games for you. It's the original and the richest, over $750,000 in cash and prizes. Sign up by Saturday to play Nextel R-Star Challenge, and you could win $10,000. Look for the link at speedtv.com and join now. Kyle Busch holding on to that top spot. He's already put over 3 seconds between he and Mike Skinner. Jack Sprague in the pits, and he was slowing down earlier, as we saw.
He drove by our position right here at the start-finish line. There was fire coming out of his exhaust pipes. You see right there, you can see the fire coming out his exhaust pipes. That's either something wrong with the engine, Michael, or an ignition problem, but nonetheless, it brought him to pit road.
And it looked as though they were doing some cosmetic work while he was in the pits. But the hood is up now. Ray, what's going on?
Jack Sprague was actually trying to tighten one of his gloves, or to get his glove centered the way he wanted to on his right hand, and he accidentally hit the kill switch on the steering wheel, and now they can't figure out why it won't refire. They've reset the kill switch, but they can't get the engine to go.
Very disappointing for Jack Sprague.
That thing looks just like the same attitude it had in qualifying, Phil. Remember how that truck was just sealed right to the road? He's still sealed that way.
Kyle Busch leading this field around Lowe's Motor Speedway. Let's do a speed drop through the field with Krista and Ray.
Kyle Busch leading this race right now. He just got on his radio and said he doesn't want to change a thing. It was real loose a while ago, but it has tightened up. He said when they do come in, which should be in about 9 to 12 laps, what he really wants, guys, is a drink. To Ray.
Hey, Krista, tight is what I'm hearing from Mike Skinner, and that's surprising, but as we burn this fuel off, that'll happen a little bit. He's got a brand new chassis. It's truck number 78, and Skinner has said so far everything going fine on the racetrack. Now for Ron Hornaday and his number 33 cystic fibrosis truck, believe it or not, haven't heard him say a word on the radio tonight. Not one thing out of Hornaday from the cockpit.
Crawford currently running 4th. I just talked to his crew chief, Cowboy Starlin. He said the tires are falling off a bit. They're thinking about taking 4 when they come in. Caution, debris on the track. But we do want to talk about Terry Cook, who's currently running in 5th. Terry Cook has been tight center in, so this track is tightening up a bit. Mark Martin doesn't want to make any changes. He says he is tight enough. We're going to find out if the leaders are coming in.
Oh, I guarantee the leaders are coming in.
Well, this is the exact time for Kyle Busch. He was just talking about he needed to come in 9 or 12 laps. So
everybody's going to come on pit road here, even those trucks that stopped on lap 5 or 6 and dumped a little fuel in. You don't pass up an opportunity like this to come in. But the question is anybody going to do 2 tires like we've talked about? Or I think if I was the crew chief, I would put 4 tires on right here.
I would too, Phil. We've seen a drop off in speed of at least a solid half second, maybe even 3/4 of a second.
Well, Mikey, whenever a caution comes out and we've got a truck that's at least a lap down, what do we get from that?
Well, Aaron's is going to reward that young man right there in the 99. How appropriate is that? The old Aaron's Dream Machine that I drive is number 99. And that truck's number 99. We're going to give him the free pass. He's going to drive all the way around the field, and he's going to come right back up to the back of the field. A free pass, a lucky dog he is. We've already sent 2 race fans from the seats to the suites. Now we're going to send this truck around the field.
How does it always turn back to you in that one? How you made that the I drive the Aaron's? How did that work out?
Well, hey, Rick, it's fate.
Okay.
Hey, guys, we've got leaders on pit road. Krista.
51 slides into his pit box. The crew is around to the right side, putting on right side tires. They've got left sides up on the wall, so they will be making a 4-tire change, a slight adjustment. Kyle, though, says his truck is very good. It has tightened up as the night has gotten cooler. Putting in the fuel, more trucks down, Ray, on your end.
Absolutely, Krista, and Ron Hornaday, as I said, hasn't been talking much. hasn't really been a lot of communication. The right sides will be done. Now we'll see if they go with 2 or 4. Haven't really heard on the radio. Now I know Mike Skinner is going to do a 4-tire stop. It looks like the exact same thing for Hornaday. These guys know if they get 4 tires on it right now, then the next time they come in, they don't need tires at all. Mark Martin is going to be the first off pit road, beating the number 5 of Skinner.
Second off pit road.
Mark Martin actually second off pit road.
Kyle Busch was on the race off pit road. Very, very quick pit stop for Richie Waters, guys.
How about Mike Skinner's team coming off pit road here? They wanted to win that race off the pit road, just couldn't get her done.
Berger and Tunney were quite upset.
There goes Kyle Busch, the 51 truck right there, and then we're going to see Ron Hornaday. I'm sorry, we're going to see
Mark
Martin, and then the 5 of Mike Skinner,
and then
there's
Hornaday,
Ron Hornaday, the 33 and Rudiman.
So pit strategy could come into play now as we've completed 48 laps at Los Motors Speedway. Welcome back to the Quaker Steak and Lube 200, presented on Speed by Dodge. A few changes in the top 5. Mark Martin jumps up to second with a very impressive pit stop. We're riding along with Todd Bodine. You can see on the back of this truck, the lumberliquidators.com, and there is a special code there, LL Wins. Again, that expires 5/21, which is Sunday, so make sure to check out lumberliquidators.com or call 1-800-FLOORING for your 5% discount on all of the lumber from Lumber Liquidators by using that special code, LL Wins.
I bet that stands for Lumber Liquidators.
You are sharp, Michael. Nothing gets past you.
You're all over it, Michael.
Yes.
Yes.
By the way, guys, Mark Martin had moved into the top 5 prior to that caution flag coming out. So he started way, way back in the 10th spot. For him, that's way back anyway. And he moved his way up into the top 5.
And David Rudiman was running 8th, and his team got him out onto the track off pit road in 5th, so picked up 3 spots there.
Field coming in front of the grandstand, this time led by Kyle Busch, and we're back to racing.
I really want to see this battle here between Kyle Busch and Mark Martin. I want to see, because this is obviously as close as Mark has been to the front in this race. I want to see if he can hang with Kyle Busch.
Well, he needed to adjust that number 6 truck because that 51 was outrunning everybody, and it looks like he might be planning on doing it again.
Well, the 2 trucks are working their way away from this field. Mike Skinner trying to hang on. We can never count out the 30 of Todd Bodine. He is also moving his way to the front.
He's currently being shown in the 7th position. That's him, the yellow and black Toyota right there, middle of your screen.
You remember this race started for him 4 or 5 laps. He's on pit road. I can't drive it. Go under the hood. Fix something. That's what a championship team's all about. They got that thing tuned up. He's running with the leaders now.
Todd told me, the race he won at St. Louis here a couple of weeks ago, he said they were not any good until the last 5 minutes of practice, but they worked every second. In the last 5 minutes, he said, we caught something and it made us good, and that's what won the race for us.
And that's what's great, to have a great chemistry between your crew chief and your driver. Mike Hillman Jr., Mike Hillman Sr., and Todd Bodine working so well together to figure their problems out.
There's David Rudiman losing a couple spots to JB, Johnny Benson, and his Toyota, and Todd also. Terry Cook now is going to look to the inside of David Rudiman.
Looks like Rudiman got a little sideways off turn 4 the lap before and allowed those other cats to come around him. You could see him being tentative right there in that turn, and here comes the 10 truck right up under him.
Terry Cook's going to take that spot away.
David's falling back.
Remember, these trucks are going to be a little bit loose when they put tires on and fill them up with fuel because they have so much rear weight. That's what really affects these trucks.